Android.
Right.
Hello.
It's available on Google Podcasts, Anchor. Anchor.
Understanding as to I don't know what say.
Hello, good people. My name is Natasha Winfrey. Welcome back to Unwinding Moments with Natasha Winfrey. So, today is a special episode in the spirit of love and Valentine's Day. We talk about love and relationships. It is very important to note that we don't talk of love to bring about redundancy around the subject, however subjective the topic may be. Today, I'm joined by two of my friends from way back in high school. We have Charmaine, a YouTuber and an MC extraordinaire. From Form 2, we've been friendshipping. And one of my first friends in high school, Munyaradzi is off the market, by the way. Ladies, please say hi, guys.
Hi, good people. Thank you for having us, Natasha. We're so excited to be here.
Hello everyone, the guy who's off the market is here. It's very nice to be here. Thank you so much, Natasha, and I hope we won't offend anyone with this topic because it's a very sensitive topic.
Yes, that's just about right. So you might ask why we are doing this. We talk about love, so to bring about awareness around the topic, to debunk some of the stereotypes that are around the subject, and of course we have a male perspective so that the males don't feel like we have sidelined them. So yeah, enjoy and thank you. So first we want to define love and what it means for each and every one of us. So Munya, can you tell us in detail what love is for you, what it means for you when you say you guys are in love? Yeah.
Okay, thank you. But that might be a very difficult question to answer because there are a lot of definitions that we can use to define the word love. But I'd like to define it as a feeling that one has towards something or someone, because yes, it can be that you love something, you love eating. But since now we're talking of love in terms of people, we can say it's a feeling that you have towards someone. Or it's not just a feeling, it's a very special feeling, where you feel those emotions and respect for someone. It's not just physical, okay? If I say it's not just physical, it might mean that it's physical. It's actually not physical. Mm-hmm. It's more of an emotion rather than something that's physical.
Yes.
So we're really talking about the kind of actions that you show towards someone, the kind of respect you have for someone, the kind of valuing that they have in your life, the value that you show them in your life, or that, just how they are to you.
So you actually do agree that love is more than just the word, it's action, it's effort.
Precisely. You feel something and then you act on it. You just don't say I feel something for you, I love you, but you cannot support it with respect, you cannot support it with trust, you cannot support it with just understanding, communication, all those things that we usually talk about. Yeah.
Okay. And Charmaine, what is love for you? Is it action? Is it understanding? What is it? Tell us.
Okay, so for me, I would like to illustrate love as a culture, as a way of life, as a lifestyle, and not just a feeling, because one day you might feel cold, you might feel hot, you might feel sad and happy. So feelings come and go.
Yes.
But love is there to stay. It's not just something that you feel today and then tomorrow it's not like that. So I feel like love is a lifestyle and a culture.
Okay, so I do get where you're coming from, you both. Yeah, I do get it. As someone who's been on the sidelines, I've watched you love some people. I've watched you get hurt. I've watched you cry.
You're going too far now.
Yeah, I do understand. And I also understand their relationships do's and don'ts, the things that we should be doing, the things that we should not be doing. What is it that you really expect from someone to do for you when they're in love? For me, example, hey, as a difficult somebody, I expect to be understood. I expect love to be executed in a way that shows kindness, respect, and all those mushy feelings.
Well, for me, the first thing that I feel is very important is understanding that it's not just about you anymore. It's now about considering what the next person feels, considering what the next person has to say.
And Munya, what are some of the relationship do's and don'ts for you? Things which you are open to trying and things which you are maybe a little bit hesitant?
Okay, so I'd like to agree with what Charmaine said when she said that it's now a matter of saying we are now two. It's no longer just you. It's
About
now
being selfish.
Yes, it's now us.
Yes.
So I feel like in a relationship, when you start using the word we instead of I mean, you've graduated.
Partnership.
Yes, it's now something that's mutual. It's now making sense, And I can't really say I've got do's and don'ts that are, specific or particular, because I feel like it depends with the type of person that you have or the type of person that you are at a certain time. Because people, we grow, we change, we evolve, and all that. So we take that into consideration. And we also take into consideration the phase of the relationship that you are at. Because, for instance, it's different when you are at the beginning of a relationship and when, let's say, people have now gotten married, because at the beginning, you're not really mandated to say or to tell your partner where you are at all the times, But when you're in a marriage now, I mean, it's a marriage. You really have to be open and tell your partner, where are you? I think that's what I think,
Can you hold that thought, Munya? So, can you give me clarification? What is the right time? Like, after how many months are we supposed to start taking it seriously? Do we not just start from the beginning, or we wait for, we give ourselves a grace period of 2-3 months and then we start being serious?
Yes, and how long should the talking stage last for?
Okay, I feel like there's no specific time frame, You just feel it on your own that, you just feel that we've reached that stage where we can say we are now serious.
Yes,
for different people, for different people, it takes different times. For some, it takes a month. For some, it takes 3 months. For some, it takes even a year.
Yes, and I feel like the moment we begin to mark out 1 month, 2 months, it feels sort of like premeditated.
Exactly.
It's not genuine. So, Munya, Charmaine talked about loving someone the right way or being loved the right way. Do love languages necessarily become the solution to the pandemic? And what does it mean to you, love languages?
Okay, so probably a lot of you guys have never heard of the 5 love languages. So these explain how an individual wants to be loved or feels loved when they receive love in a certain kind of way. So we've got 5 love languages. The first one is quality time. Okay, there's no specific order, but I'm just gonna run through them. The first one is quality time, and then we've got words of affirmation, we've got acts of service, and then we have physical touch, and then we have gifts. So from these 5 love languages, let me just touch on them a little bit. So when you talk of quality time, we mean an individual, they feel very loved, or they feel like their partner is showing a lot of love for them when they spend more time with them. And on words of affirmation, an individual wants to hear things like, you look good, this and that, I love you, those words that really express how much you love someone. And then on acts of service, maybe you are a couple and then you live together, your partner, they wash the car for you, they clean the house for you. If it's the
breakfast
in bed, you know. If it's the man, he sometimes does the dishes, and then
yes,
and then they've got physical touch. On physical touch, many people might take it out of context.
Yes.
So it
confuse it for sex.
For sex, yes. It doesn't mean sex. It just means you just want to be all touch with your partner.
Hugging.
Just want to hold hands, hugging and all that. And then on gifts, an individual, they feel loved if their partner gives them a gift. It might be something just simple but thoughtful, sentimental. It's not a matter of how big the gift is, but it's a matter of the thought. It's the thought that counts.
Yes,
so I'm sure both of you, you've in a way you've experienced these love languages, and I'd like to know. Let me ask now. I'd like to know, what are your love languages?
Well, for me, all 5 of them are my love languages. Basically, I love gifts, but when I'm during the time when I'm having exams, I want to be affirmed more, like, all the best, babe, I love you, babe, do well, that kind of a thing. But I also want to stress the point that loving gifts as your love language does not make you a materialistic person. It doesn't.
Precisely.
Okay. I'd like to agree with Natasha. I feel like everyone, not just us, everyone possesses all 5 love languages.
Yes.
But it's just that there's that one primary that stands out from the rest. For me, the one that stands out is quality time. When you spend time out of your busy schedule, when you show that you're making time for me, I would feel that that's the best thing that you can do for me.
So for Valentine's, no roses.
I said you possess all 5.
So for Valentine's, you just want a baby, I want to see you. Baby, I want to see you.
Chocolates are essential.
Or you want to spend the quality time in a restaurant or something.
Yes, precisely.
Okay, I get it. Okay, so I think for me, my love language, my number 1 love language is physical touch.
Ooh.
I love it when my partner is just all touchy with me, and they just, they can't seem to get enough of me.
Wow.
They just want me there, and, quality time as well. Mm-hmm. I think it's a very important love language for me. Mm-hmm. So as you can see, when we talk of these love languages, if one understands their love language and then their partner's love language, the two people can then have a balance. They can know how to love each other, and then they will never go wrong when they know and understand what we mean when we talk of love languages. So the problem now, I think, is that most people don't realize that we've got different love languages, because your partner might get you a gift, but then you're not really a gifts type of person.
Yes.
You're all about acts of service and physical touch, and that when he believes that gifts are everything, so both of you now, you're talking 2 different love languages, and then that creates a problem at the end of the day.
Rift.
Yes.
Well, my question is, as women, I'm sure Charmaine she agrees, we don't really want to stress out what we want to be done for us and to us. We just expect the men to kind of know. How then does communication play a role in this whole, me, I want gifts, me, I want chocolates, me, I want roses? How do you say it without seeming materialistic? How do you say it? How do you communicate?
I think now it's a problem that you ladies have. I'm sorry to say. Because
it's also a problem that you gentlemen have. The problem is when someone expresses that gifts is their love language, you start thinking that they're a gold digger, they want to finish my money, they want to squander my money. So I feel like it's very important for both parties to have the conversation of love languages, because you don't need to expect to be loved the way that you want to be loved if you haven't communicated it.
Yes.
So communication is very important.
Communication is key.
It's key. Yeah, okay. So I get what you're saying. And I think that sometimes we just need to say out what we feel like we should say at the right time. You know, I once had an issue with my girlfriend. You know, I said the right thing at the wrong time.
Okay.
You know,
Okay.
so I think now when you're communicating, you should really find the right time to say what you want to say. You know, so that it doesn't come across as you maybe trying to
Being
provoke
forward.
them or being forward or
Yes.
something like that. You know,
Okay.
yeah.
I think in line with love languages, not just speaking of the way that we want to be loved, but I also feel like it's very important to understand your partner and look at them individually and not use what you've used with the last 10 people on the different person.
Your long list of
Yes.
lovers.
Don't expect the same formula to work with a different person.
Okay.
Yes.
But I hadn't made my point to say, you ladies, you've got a problem. I think you were trying to shut me up by you know what you said.
Yes, yeah.
So I think you ladies have a problem. You expect one thing, but then you expect another thing. I don't know what you do, but you don't really have something certain that you want. Because when you say you want this, then I do it. The next thing, you no longer want it. You want something else.
Well, I think ladies, we don't want things to seem kind of like obvious. You know, that's the thing. And ladies, what I've noticed about us is that there are certain things that we expect men to do for us without really saying it. Like babysitting the baby. It's not really babysitting the baby if it's your baby. You just have to help with the baby.
Yeah, I think sometimes we as the gentlemen, we have to be spontaneous, if I can say, in a relationship. We really have to go an extra mile to show our ladies that we love them. We just have to do things for them, random things, you know. But to maybe wrap up this issue on love languages, yes. I do think that, as you've alluded to earlier, communication is key.
Yes.
Communication is everything. So at the beginning of every relationship, when you feel like you're not really communicating enough, one of you should be ready to tell the other that I think we need to communicate enough. We really need to talk about this. You know, because the moment you talk of gifts, right, and you explain to your partner what it means, I feel like they will understand you if you talk about it, rather than just acting up and expecting them to be like inganga of some sort, a prophet, you know, so that they can just guess, you know, abracadabra, and then they understand, you know. I think you should just really be open and say what you mean, say what you want, you know, say exactly as it is. Don't beat about the bush. Just say it straight to the point.
Okay, so before we wrap up this whole conversation, I think this is very interesting, and we are about to move to the most interesting part of this conversation, the YouTube channel. So, last but not least, friends of the opposite sex. Did I just notice you guys tensing? Hey, those ones that you call your besties, my female bestie, my male bestie, this and that. Tell me, what are your sentiments about your female best friends and your male best friends? And how do you feel when your partner, your boyfriend, your girlfriend is those female best friends, those advisors, the board of relationship directors? Tell me.
Okay, this is a very controversial topic.
Yes.
But I feel like there's nothing wrong with having friends of the opposite sex. It's very right, and it's very wrong as well to expect someone to shut out their friendships with people just because you have entered their lives. And it's
Munya, what do you think?
I do have female best friends.
I mean,
you
look at us.
Yeah, you guys, you are here. So I think Charmaine is right to say you cannot just shut out the people that were already there before. You know, these are important people, and perhaps at some point they helped you through something that was really serious in your life and they deserve to be there every step of the way.
To be acknowledged.
Yes, until probably you've made it in life and then they are there to celebrate with you as well.
Yes.
Because they know where you're coming from, But I think there should be boundaries, because when your male bestie now comes and spends a lot of time with you more than he does, more than you do with me.
We are with your boyfriend.
There's a problem.
Okay.
Or when, there are some things that you talk about with your male best friend that you don't talk about with me. What does that mean? So I think we should have boundaries. And sometimes I feel like something is very, or resonates well with you when you see it happening elsewhere. So I think when you're a guy and you've got female best friends, when you see your girlfriend with male best friends, when you see how their relationship works and there's something that doesn't go well with you, you should really say it, but in a more
respectful
way.
Yes.
And you should also try not to do what they do that you don't like. You should use that as an example to say, no, this I don't do with my female best friends. We have boundaries. We end here and we start here, something like that.
Okay, I do get that. But I also feel these our male best friends and female best friends, they have a little bit of entitlement. This kind of like, I knew you before she knew you. How then do you communicate with them? Mind you, we want to keep the friendship intact. We still want to keep friending. How do you do that?
I honestly think that you need to embrace openness with your friends. You need to let them know that you're now in a relationship, and so we used to do this. We can still do it now, but we end here. It's very important that you
draw healthy boundaries. Yes. Okay, so your girlfriend and your boyfriend, to what extent should you be transparent? In my boyfriend as well. To what extent should you be transparent about what goes on within you and your friends, and what goes on between you and your girlfriend when it comes to telling your friends? How well should you tell them details? Too much information. What should you say and what you shouldn't say?
I think there's nothing as too much information when it comes to two people in a relationship.
Okay.
It's very good to be open, to be transparent about the things that you do with friends, especially friends of the opposite sex.
Okay.
Because one thing that you don't want to do is to make your partner feel threatened by your friend. And the moment they feel threatened, then that's a problem. Okay. So let them in, let them know exactly what you want to do with your friends and everything else, so that they feel like they're a part of your life.
Yes. Okay, I do get it. But then, as women, and Charmaine, you know this very well, there are things that when our partners are transparent and very open about, we don't take it, simply put, as being transparent. We take it as compiling substantial evidence to be used in the court of law at a later stage. That is, let's say there is a problem, or maybe you're having a relationship difficulty, and that thing that you said as being transparent is now being used as a point of reference. At some point you did this, at some point you did that with your friend. How then do we handle that, Munya? How do you do it as gents? How do you handle us problem?
I think, things in a relationship shouldn't be like that.
Okay.
We shouldn't reference things that happened in the past.
Okay.
Because together we are growing, At the beginning, probably we've made mistakes and all that, but along the way, you should understand that we are now growing, we are now evolving,
things are changing.
We now understand each other a bit more
yes,
than we did at first. So I think it's a problem that really shouldn't exist, but still it exists. So I think you will be having the wrong person at the wrong time.
Okay.
I think when you have that kind of issue in your relationship.
And mentality as well.
Yes. Someone shouldn't hold the past
against you. Yes, very true.
It shouldn't be like that. Things should just be open in a relationship. Everything should be open in a relationship.
So, ladies and gentlemen, in part 1, we have talked about the do's and don'ts in a relationship, love languages, the pandemic, friends of the opposite sex. That is not just it. We are going to move to Charmaine's YouTube channel, and I'm going to drop a link so that you can join us as we talk about more love and relationship issues. But today, this is me. Thank you so much for tuning in. Stay blessed, and I love you all.
Bye, guys.
I hope you enjoyed.